Very good afternoon. Let me start the class. Let others also come and join. Today, what we are going to discuss is about the nature and scope of managerial economics. Before discussing about the nature and scope, first we should know what is managerial economics is. You can expect a section A question. What do you mean by managerial economics? Or sometimes they may ask, define managerial economics. In that time, before writing about the feature or what we're trying to mean, we should write the definition. There are many definitions are there, but I have given here only two definitions. Before writing about the features of managerial economics or what you're trying to mean about the managerial economics, write this definition and then go to the main answer. One important definition is Milton H. Spencer and Louis Siegelman. They define in such a way: managerial economics is an integration of economic theory with business practices for the purpose of facilitating the decision making and forward planning by the management. This is the definition given by Milton H. Spencer and Louis Siegelman. Actually, there are many learning methods are there. Today, I will teach you one of the method called segmentation method. Under this method, if you study, then it is easy to retrieve your concept. For example, under this particular segmentation method, I am dividing this particular definition into 5 parts. What are the 5 parts? You leave the according to Spencer and Siegelman. I am splitting into 5 parts. What are they? Managerial economics is it's one part. Then the second part is the integration of. Then the third part is two things: economic theory and business practices. The fourth segment is for the purpose of. Then fifth part is facilitating decision making and forward planning. And finally, the last segment is management. Split this like this. And then if you add it, what we're trying to mean, manage economics is we have to integrate two. What we are going to integrate? Two things. What are they? Economic theory and business practices. Why we have to integrate? For the purpose. That is one purpose. What is the purpose? In order to facilitate the decision making and forward. Two things also there. One, we are taking a decision. Second one is implementing. Who is doing? The management. So if you split like this, it's easy to define. Managerial economics is an integration of economic theory and business practices for the purpose of facilitating the decision making and forward planning by management. If you split, then it is easy to mug up. Of course, there are certain things you should mug up because it's a definition. This is a words by the author. You cannot write on your own. Whenever if you are writing a definition, it is not possible to write the meaning of it. We should write what they said. So by the time, better to use this segmentation method of learning. Divide the sentence into some parts, segment it, and then read once, and then aggregate it. You can get the definition correctly. So one more definition is there, Brinkman and Papas. It is also giving us somewhat same meaning. Managerial economics is the application of economic theory and methodology to the business administration practices. For the purpose of taking a good decision or doing a good administration in business, we are using the economic theory and methodology. That's what the Brigham Papas has said. So based on these two definitions, we can try to explain what is managerial economics is. So keep it in mind, there are two definitions, one by Spencer and Spencer and Siegelman, other one is Papas and Brigham. What they said, it is an integration of economic theory business practices for the purpose of facilitating the decision making and forward planning by the management. The other one is it is application of economic theory and methodology in business administration practice. Now, based on these two definitions, we can say what we are trying to mean. Somebody is entering. Wait. The thing is, managerial economics integrates economic theory and business practices. This is the first feature that we should have. It is combining the economic theories with the business practices. Why it is combined? That is one purpose. What is that? It facilitates the decision making process in a business. In order to take a decision, we need manage economics. It not only taking a decision, it will enhance this particular business practices by implementation. Implementation here, the technical term is called forward planning. And the fourth feature, we can say, it is a subject by the management for the business decision only. This particular subject is to take a decision only. It is not like other subject. There are a number of like HR, production material. There are some theories, some practice, some other things are there. Here the theory is not there. It's only a practice. It's a normative one. So finally, it is an application and methodology in the business administration. If you write these 5 sentences, that will give enough right meaning for the manage economics. But it is only a what to say? It's a meaning of manage economics. But traditional economics is there. In that traditional economics, the traditional economics is more than a few thousand years old. But this manage economics maximum of 50 to 60 years old, because this particular subject is of recent past only. In 1960s, we don't have a subject like manage economics. Only in 1967, Madras University have started one subject called business economics. Now it is termed as manage economics. Now, in order to understand the manage economics better, first we should differentiate what is traditional economics, actual economics, then how it differs from manage economics. If you understand this particular concept, then it is easy to understand the subject. So I'm giving sometimes they may ask in section B. So you should write, there is a list of factors. In that factor, how the managed economics differ from the traditional economics. Traditional economics, here the microeconomics, macroeconomics, like that. So very first one, when you consider a nature as a factor, managed economics is micro in nature. It talks about a firm or particular industry, or not as a whole. It will never give the aggregate. But traditional economics, it is not only microeconomics, it is also a macro in nature. So whenever we think about what is the nature, then we should say managed economics is micro in nature. Only the individual or a firm or a industry, how they are taking a decision for that, this subject is, the scope is very limited. But traditional economics, not only micro, it is also macro. Then the second one is approach, how this particular subject is used. Definitely, traditional economics is having both positive and normative approach, but here it is a normative approach only. How to be only, how it is, it never say. Yeah, how only for future period we are using this particular subject. The third one is factors of production. I already told you there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, organization. The traditional economics include all factors, but here it is not all 4 factors. Managed economics only concentrate on the 4th factor. They never bother about land, labor, and capital. It talks only about organization. For land, rent is paid. For labor, wages is paid. For capital, interest is paid. But for organization, it is profit. His object is only to profit only. How to make more money, how to be more vibrant. So it consider mainly with the 4th factor of production, not the first 3. Then coming to the same thing, it is a corollary of the previous point, the remuneration. As it consider only the organization, profit is a motive. But here other things also will be included, because rent, wage, interest, all these things are the remuneration for the factors of production. So it concentrates on profit, but traditional economic concentrate not only profit but also the rent, wage, interest theories. All these theories will be included. Then what about the content? Content means the traditional economics include theories as well as practical, but managed economics, it never think about the theory. It is a practical aspects only included from the economics in order to take a decision in the business. Then what type of concept it is? The economic traditional economics always says only economic concepts, but managed economics is not like that. It includes not only economic concept but also non-economic concept. Non-economic concept in the sense there are some concept from statistics, there are some concept from mathematics, there are some concept from accounts, linear programming, game theory. Whichever thing which is useful for business, it will be included in the managed economics, because the purpose of the subject is to take a decision in a business. So we cannot restrict the content with the economics. We have to include the non-economic concepts also. That is why the next point, what are the subject included? The managed economics include all the subjects which are useful for the business, but economics will not allow that, because it talks only about the theory and practice related with the economic values or economic indicators. Then what is the purpose? Purpose means here the managed economics in order to take a effective decision, but in actual economics, it is not only for taking a decision. It also try to attain what are the economic development, what are the economic growth, what is the economic sustainability, or how to frame the policy, what is the fiscal factor, what are the monetary factor. All the things will be included in the economics. But here, all these things are not included, only effective decision making in a business. For that, we are using this subject. So next best factor we are considering is optimization. Optimization means either minimizing the cost or maximizing the profit. But manager economics will always concentrate how to maximize the profit, how to maximize the sales, how to minimize the cost, how to minimize the maneuvers, how to minimize the so only the particular thing it will concentrate. But here the traditional economics, it's optimization with the social welfare, public expenditure, public revenue, developmental activity, social activity, all these things it will be included. They never maximize the profit. Finally, the scope, of course, it's a traditional economics has a very wide scope because it is few thousands years old, but it is only 50 years old. The scope is very limited because this subject is used only for taking a decision in a business. Understand this. The second column, manage economics. If you write these 10 sentences, that is nothing but the nature of managerial economics. Now I'm moving to the next one. A little bit addition. How it is when you say this second column, that is nothing but features of the managerial economics. How to say manage economics is a practical, realistic, and pragmatic for the business. It is a science for the business practitioner to take a because economics is arts. Here we have to say manage economics is a science. It includes not only theory concept but also the practical concept for taking a better decision in a business. Even though it is micro in nature, it provides room for the macroeconomics as a national income accounting, inflation, deflation. Why? Because aggregation of individual income will become a national income. In order to take a decision in a business, we should consider the inflation. So we have to study about the inflation. We have to study about the deflation. We have to know about the product life cycle or trade life cycle or business cycle. We should study. So that concept also will be included in managed economics, not because of it is a theory. In order to take a decision, we are including some macroeconomic concepts also in the managed economics. Why we are including? In order to take a decision. So don't say it is macroeconomics, it is micro only. But even though it is micro in nature, it includes few concepts from the macroeconomics in order to take an effective decision in a business. Then important point, the fifth point, it not only deals with economic concept, understand that. It deals both economic and non-economic concept which are used for the business practices. Then finally, consideration for technical know-how, external factors, environmental impact, legislation, all these things are included in the managerial economics. Why it is? Because based on that only, we can take an effective decision in a business. Finally, the economic implication of other disciplines, this particular subject is not only include the economic concept, some concept from mathematics, some concept from engineering, some concept from operation research, psychology, sociology, statistics, all these subjects which are you suppose it is useful for taking a decision in a business means it will be included in managed economics. Now we are developing only. It is in a developing stage only. Definitely this subject will be very useful for once you enter the corporate world. Now I am moving to the next level. Why it is significant compared to other subjects? In one side there is economic theories and concept, in the other side decision making and forward planning, how to take a decision and how to implement it. For that, these are the tools that we are using in managerial economics, which is very important for the business practice. Suppose you want to start a business, first you have to forecast the demand. So here there are number of methods and approaches to forecast the demand, not only for existing product but also a new product. Similarly, once we decided what how much to be produced, then it will give provision for how to calculate the cost, how to construct the cost function, how to estimate the cost. There are different types of cost like fixed, variable, semi-variable, opportunity cost, actual cost, book cost, out of packet cost, sunk cost. Nearly 30 type of costs is there. It will give how to calculate. Then the third one, theory of firm. This is a very beautiful tool available in managed economics. There are three different theories. One is economic theories, second one is behavioral theories, third one is managerial theories. These three theories giving a very wide idea about how to conduct a business, how to be successful in business, what are the things to be avoided, how economics is important to take a decision. All these things are included in the theory of firm. That is why managed economics is significant. Not only that, whenever you want to take a decision, definitely the future is uncertain. In an uncertain situation, you have to take a decision that is nothing but risk. The theory of risk, theory of uncertainty is there. There are two principles called a priori principle, a posteriori principle. A priori principle means you know what will be the outcome of your decision, then it is you are taking a risk. Of course, when you succeed, more profit. When you fail in that particular task, then you have to end up in the loss. But before taking a decision or conducting the task, if you know the outcome, then it is called a priori principle. Suppose you don't know what will be the outcome, only after completing the task, after facing the consequences, only you can understand what will be the outcome. Then it is called uncertain theory. So it is called posteriori principle. So in between, one side it is a certainty, another one is uncertainty. In between that, that is called risk. The link between certain and uncertain is called risk. The percentage of risk differs from individual to individual. Some people may take risk openly, some people may avoid. So all this idea, the managed economics will do. That is why it is significant. Of course, people are keep on doing the business only the profit motive, and only in order to survive in the market. If they want to become product, all these things. Yeah. One thing we should keep in mind: managerial economics is a subject which will give an economic view about the business. Why they are doing business? In order to increase your economic status only. That is why managed economics is significant. Not only that, this particular subject will help you how to construct the production function. For example, whether it is a process layout or product layout, what are the theories available in production, how to construct the law for the production, whether it is a capital goods or consumer goods or perishable goods, whichever type of goods, based on that, how to construct the production function. This managed economics will help. That is why it is significant. The main purpose of the business is to maximize the profit. It gives profit theory. The profit theory is available in the managed economics. In that corollary of that particular profit maximization, there is one analysis called break-even analysis. There we can identify no loss, no profit point. Based on that, after how to stay in profit zone, how to avoid the loss zone. So those techniques also will be taught in the managed economics. Of course, the third one is how to minimize the cost. They give number of techniques, tools to minimize the cost. Not only that, once you know what is the cost, what is the demand, how to produce, and what are the economic, all these things, then we can construct a budget. These are the expenditure, these are the revenues, how to correlate these two, whether it is a deficit budget or surplus budget or huge budget, all these things, it gives some clear idea about the business. That is why managed economics is significant. Finally, market structure. There are perfect market, imperfect market. Perfect market having two market structure. One is called perfect competition and pure competition. In imperfect, there are 5 markets: duopoly, monopoly, oligopoly, and monopolistic. Apart from that, monopsony. So these are the market are imperfect. So these how the market is structured and what type of market it is, the detail about the market, how to conduct a market survey, all these things are also included in the managed economics. And finally, there are few pricing methods and strategies which are available in the commerce and management also. So those concepts are also included in the managed economics. Because of these tools and techniques, the managerial economics gain its importance and it proves it is significant for the business. Now, let us move to the next topic. What is the scope of managerial economics? Scope is nothing but the area which it covers, area of study. So, I am dividing this particular subject into 6 categories: the demand analysis, cost analysis, production analysis, investment analysis, profit analysis, and markets. Why I am saying, suppose you want to start a business, the first step you should know the demand for your product. Suppose you know how to produce one product, you cannot keep on produce unless the consumer prefers it. You should know how many of them are going to buy. Based on that only you should produce. So you should know about the demand. For that, there is a law of demand, the relationship between the price and the product. That is the law of demand. Then how to construct the demand schedule? Based on that only, all of a sudden 1,000 products we cannot produce. We have to schedule the demand. This week 100, next week 150, next week another 200. So you have to make some schedule. This is a way to produce. All of a sudden it is not possible to produce. For that we should know how to schedule it based on the available resources. Apart from that, we should know what is the expansion and contraction of the demand, so elasticity of demand. Apart from that, there are a few concepts like demand distinction. The same product may be bad for one individual and it will be good for the another. So we should know the distinction. Finally, how to forecast the demand for existing product, for new product. So all these techniques is available in the demand analysis. Once we know what is the demand, then we have to go for the cost concept. This cost analysis include different cost concepts and how to construct the cost function, how to estimate the cost. All this included in the cost analysis. Once we complete, this is the cost that I am going to incur. Then we have to go for the production analysis. What are the list of production? How many acres of land you are going to use? How much manpower you require, how much you are going to invest, how to construct. So all the production theories, layouts, all these things studied in the production function. Then once we decided this will be the production function, then we have to think about the investment level. What is the cost of capital? How to construct the budget, not only cost budget but also financial budget. How to project that particular future demand for particular thing. How to appraise the project proposal, all these things. Once we complete all these 4, then we can move to the profit. How to target the profit. For that, we are having different tools called break-even analysis, profit policies, marginal costing, and safety margin, targeted profit. All these things are included in the profit analysis. Finally, the market structure. There are 5 market structure included in your syllabus: perfect, pure, monopoly, monopolistic, and oligopoly. So whenever they ask, first write the definition, then feature, then write the scope. All of a sudden, don't go for the scope. First, you should write the introduction. You should say what is management economics, and then you have to write the area of study. Last time they asked this particular question: what is the contribution of other subject to management economics? You should include accounts, stats, maths, operation research, material management. There are some concepts they are retrieved from this subject and it is included in the management economics. It is also a part of scope of managerial economics. With this, I am winding up the class. Another 2 minutes I'm going to talk. Please listen carefully. One thing you should keep in mind: whichever thing you like it, definitely you will be succeed in that particular thing. That is why I request all of you, you love this managerial economics subject. Once you think this is a good subject and this will help you, definitely this subject will give enough information and skill. Why I am saying, being an economist, I am just sharing one information. For every individual, there is a birth of economics. தமிழ்ல ஒரு வார்த்தை சொல்வாங்க, அக்ரிணை உயர்திணை. அக்ரிணைனா ஆடு மாடலாம், உயர்திணைனா மனுஷா. எக்கனாமிக்ஸ்ன்றது அக்ரிணையிலிருந்து உயர்திணைக்கு மாத்துற ஒரு டூல். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், இங்கிலீஷ் சொல்றேன் பாருங்களேன். காமன் ஜெண்டருக்கும் மஸ்குலைன் ஃபெமினைன் ஜெண்டருக்கும் வித்தியாசம் இருக்கு. ஒரு குழந்தை பிறந்தது சொன்னா பிறந்தது, பசிக்குது, அழுதுது அப்படின்னு அதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அது வந்து மேலோ ஃபீமேலோன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க. இட்ஸ் a காமன் ஜெண்டர். அப்போ எப்போதான் அதுக்கு மஸ்குலின் ஜெண்டர் ஃபீமேல் அந்த ஸ்டேட்டஸ் கொடுப்பாங்க, அக்னிநிலம் உயர்தினை கொடுப்பாங்கன்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு 10 மாசம் ஆகும். ஏன் 10 மாசம் ஆகுதுன்னா கலர்ஃபுல்லா எதையா பார்த்தா எடுத்து சாப்பிடணும். அது சாப்பிட்ற பொருளா என்னன்னு கூட அதுக்கு தெரியாது. அதுக்கு எதுவுமே தெரியாது. தெரியாத வரைக்கும் அதுக்குள்ள எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் இல்ல. அப்போ எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் எப்ப போறது? 10வது மாசம் எழுந்து நிற்கும். எழுந்து நிற்கும்போது ஒரு சாக்லேட் கொடுத்தோன்னா ஒரு கை நீட்டும், உடனே 2வது கை நீட்டும். எதுக்கு? எனக்கு நிறைய வேணும். எந்த ஒரு மனுஷனுக்கு எனக்கு நல்லது வேணும், எனக்கு கஷ்டம் வேணாம், எனக்கு நிறைய வேணும், எப்போ செல்ஃபிஷ்னஸ் வருதோ அப்போ அந்த உயிர்ல எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் பிறக்குது. அந்த எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் தான் நம்ம உயர்தினைன்னு சொல்றோம். இன்னைக்கு பணம் வேணும், ஸ்டேட்டஸ் வேணும், சொசைட்டில நல்ல ரெகனைசேஷன் வேணும். இதுக்கெல்லாம் எதுக்காக மெனக்கெடுறான்? எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் ஒண்ணு. இன்ஜினியரா இருக்கட்டும், டாக்டரா இருக்கட்டும், ப்ரொஃபஷனல் எந்த ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷன் இருக்கட்டும், எதுக்காக மெனக்கெடுறான்னு நினைக்கிறேன்? இன் ஆர்டர் டு இம்ப்ரூவ் த எக்கனாமிக் ஸ்டேட்டஸ். நல்லா புரிஞ்சுங்க, எக்கனாமிக் ஸ்டேட்டஸை இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்றதுக்கு தான் இதெல்லாம் செய்யறாங்க. மைட் பி எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு ட்ரை சப்ஜெக்ட் நீங்க நினைக்கிறீங்க. கொஞ்சம் இன்வால்வ் ஆகி பாருங்க. இதெல்லாம் சயின்ஸ் எல்லாம் தூக்கி சாப்பிடுற அளவுக்கு நல்ல நல்ல கான்செப்ட்லாம் இதுல இருக்கு. கண்டிப்பா என் கிளாஸ் ஆக்டிவா இருக்கும்னு நான் நம்புறேன். With this, I'm winding up the class. All of you type your name in the chat box with class.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
May God bless you.
Thank you,
My
sir.
children.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Are you enjoying my class?